Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 3 of Learning Film. I'm your host, Taylor Werfelman, and today we're going to be talking about how to send your film in to a lab to get it developed and scanned, and some of the things you're going to want to avoid and some of the things you're going to want to do. My theory in the last 6 or 7 years of shooting film has been eliminate as many X factors as I can so that when I get my scans back, I know whether I took a good photo or not. You see, if you're not using good film, if you're using a bad developer, you're obviously not going to know if you made a mistake in your film or if the lab, or let's say it's expired film or something of that nature, made the mistake. This is why, after many years of using the cheap method for development and just finding whoever will do it the cheapest in my area, I've been sending my film to a professional lab outside of where I live. I would say this has been one of the most important and vital things to my process in the last 2 years, because before I would get my film back and I would see these scans don't look very good, I wonder if I did something wrong, and I would get all up in my head, and then I would change the way that I was shooting film. It was only till I started using a good lab that I got scans back that I really loved and liked and realized, oh wow, I'm taking a good photo after all. It just wasn't being scanned or developed in the best way possible. But if you're taking it to a local place, oftentimes you're not going to get the best results. This is why I think it is vital to work with your lab, work with your technician to make that relationship so that they can get you the scans that you're looking for, because oftentimes you're going to get different results no matter where you go. So I'm no professional scanner whatsoever, but I wanted to run this test in order to illustrate the kind of editing that goes into your scans when you get them back from the lab. Now, many people say, oh, you shouldn't edit your film, blah, blah, blah. But most of those people don't realize that when you're sending in your film to be developed and scanned, they're already editing it. They're already adding colors, because remember, it's just a negative. So they're taking it just like as I'm doing on the screen right now. They're adding colors and they're trying to flatten the image out and color correct it. Now, obviously, they're not going to give your exact look, but they're going to color correct the photo. So I'm running this example in order to show you that someone who doesn't truly know what they're doing or isn't the greatest at scanning is not going to get as great of results as a professional scanner. And this is my scan. This is the professional scanner scan. As you can see, if I got the photo on the right, I'd be way more excited. And here is the edited version. So this is super important. And the number one thing that goes into this for me is being inspired and knowing my look. So that's why I show you guys Save It. You can check it out online or on the App Store. Basically, it's like Pinterest, but for creators, video creators, and photo creators. And it's really helped me to get inspired and to flesh out my style. And I would say that having a style, developing your own style, is number one priority in order to know how to communicate with your lab and to get the results you're looking for. Now, for me personally, like I said, developing style is number one when it comes to shooting film, when it comes to getting things developed. Obviously, it's going to change the way you shoot, and it's going to change how you edit your film. After you've got your taste locked in, what I did was made about a page document full of 7 to 8 photos and sent that to my lab and said, hey, from now on, I want the color correction to look like this. Because like I said, no matter what you do, they are going to have to put color into your image. Since they have been doing that, and since I've been working with my technician, every time I say, hey, see mood board on file, or hey, leave the black borders, or other instructions that I like to give them, I have gotten the best results that I've ever gotten from film in the last 2 years. Because remember, a camera is just opening up the shutter. A film is pretty much the same across the board. What is really going to set you apart is A, if you're metering it correctly, your lenses, and who's developing the film. And development comes along with scanning. So it is so important, and I cannot stress this enough. Work with your lab. Make sure you know them and make sure they know what you want out of your photos. For about 5 years, I never communicated with my lab, never had a relationship with them, and I constantly got things that I did not like. And it didn't make me excited to look at my scans, because I was like, oh, I don't like the color on this. I don't like this. I don't like this. It wasn't the composition. It wasn't the lighting. It was just the way that they had developed and scanned the film. So don't just think because some place says, oh, we develop film, that they're going to be good at it. I've taken my film to very bad shops and they've done a very bad job. It wasn't that I shot the film incorrectly, it's just they did not do a very good job of developing it. Maybe their scanning program was old and outdated, or maybe they just did not know how to scan themselves, as I illustrate in this video. Now with packaging, it's pretty straightforward. I just find a small package. I grab the film. I personally like using a Ziploc, which I put the film in and just kind of seal it airtight. Once in a while, I'll put some bubble wrap, but in this case, my box is pretty small. I just stick it in there, close the box up, tape it up, and it is ready to go. All right, y'all, that's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode a little bit more in the studio today. Next week, we're going to be talking about editing your film photos. I'm going to be taking some of the photos that we did from episode 2, taking them into Lightroom and showing you kind of my process for how I edit. Obviously, editing is subjective, but if you like my style, if you've liked what you've learned so far, I think you're going to like this episode a lot, and I'll throw in a few little tips that I've learned over the years. All right, y'all, have a great one.